Can Stitch say goodbye?
Yes.
Thank you.
Who are you?
This is my family. I found it all on my own.
Stitch was once the most evil destruction machine in the universe, but now he just looks like a pitiful little dog, terrified of being separated from his family. When Stitch was born, he was programmed by the scientist Jumba, with one single directive: destroy.
Naughty!
The incredibly powerful Stitch terrified the Galactic Federation. To keep him from running loose, the Federation locked him up, but during transport, a careless mistake by the guards let Stitch break free from the ship. He escaped all the way to Earth. Freshly arrived on Earth, Stitch felt completely strange and scared of everything around him. Even a tiny drop of rain was enough to frighten him. By the side of the road, he encountered the first Earth creature he'd ever seen. Just as Stitch was facing off with it, something unexpected happened. Two trucks came barreling straight toward him. The impact knocked Stitch unconscious. When he finally opened his eyes again, he found himself in a strange place, surrounded by a group of trembling stray dogs. Instinctively, he reached for his weapons, only to realize they were gone. Curious, Stitch quietly slipped away from there, but the moment he stepped outside, the people hunting him had him in their sights. Panicked, Stitch bolted back into the building. Just as he stood there unsure what to do, a little girl happened to walk by. In a flash of inspiration, Stitch tucked in his extra limbs and antennae, disguising himself as a pet dog. Then he ran right up to the girl. The adorable Stitch instantly captured her heart.
How?
Wow.
The two became inseparable partners. While they were signing the adoption papers, Lilo suddenly interrupted the two adults. After they stepped outside, an alien perched way up on a cliff, locked onto Stitch with a red laser sight. But aliens are absolutely forbidden from attacking Earth people, so using Lilo as cover, Stitch managed to slip away safely. Now that she had her new family member, Lilo rushed over to her classmates to proudly introduce them to Stitch. But the kids just thought the two of them were total weirdos, and started isolating Lilo even more. Right at that moment, Stitch's evil genes kicked in. He snatched a girl's tricycle right out of her hands, and took off with Lilo riding along, escaping the scene. The two of them zoomed all the way to where her sister worked. But as an alien,
Yum.
Stitch couldn't handle Earth food at all.
Hey!
Then suddenly a familiar scent from home hit him. He followed the smell straight to the next table over, only to walk right into a trap set by Jumba and Pleakley.
Aha! Look what I find! Get this thing! Hurry!
Just as they were about to slap cuffs on him, Stitch chomped down hard on Pleakley nearby. The three of them started fighting like crazy, and the whole place turned into a total mess. Nanny hurried over to try and break it up, but in the end she still got fired by her boss. The three of them headed home feeling totally defeated. Once they got back, Stitch's destructive side flared up again. He started wrecking everything in sight. Nanny was terrified. Ignoring Lilo's protests, she scooped Stitch up and was about to toss him out. But for Lilo, Stitch had already become part of her family by then. No one gets to abandon family.
What about Ohana?
He hasn't been here that long.
Neither have I. Dad said Ohana means family.
When Lilo shouted family at Nanny and Stitch, the naturally mischievous Stitch felt love for the very first time, and Nanny chose to keep the chaos-loving Stitch after all. Back in the bedroom, Lilo made a special little bed just for Stitch. She even lent him her favorite doll and her childhood baby bottle to keep him company. But Stitch wasn't satisfied at all. He jumped straight onto the big bed and took it over completely. When Lilo complained, Stitch just grabbed a pillow and pinned her down with it. That's when a family photo caught Stitch's eye, but Lilo seemed really upset about it. For the first time, she lost her temper with Stitch. Angry and worked up, Stitch started destroying the room all over again. Just then, a wreath full of loving vibes slowly calmed Stitch down.
You know, you wreck everything you touch. Why not try and make something for a change?
Listening to Lilo's words, Stitch's mood gradually settled. He walked over to the bed and started creating something of his own. A little while later, a mini version of a whole town appeared right in front of them. Still, Stitch couldn't fully hold back his destructive genes. Lilo didn't really understand, but she didn't interrupt him either. She wanted to comfort Stitch with her own understanding and patience. Late into the night, staring at the wrecked room, Stitch didn't feel any joy. Feeling conflicted, he accidentally flipped open a book in the bookshelf, The Ugly Duckling. When Lilo woke up, she read the story to him.
See, he's sad because he's all alone and nobody wants him. But on this page, his family hears him crying and they find him. Then the ugly duckling is happy because he knows where he belongs.
After hearing the whole tale, something quietly shifted in Stitch's heart. He calmed down completely, went back to his own little bed, and the two of them fell fast asleep, listening to Elvis records. The next morning, Lilo suddenly discovered another one of Stitch's talents. She couldn't wait. She rushed to wake up her sleepy big sister. Nanny was totally confused at first. Over the next few days, Nanny was busy job hunting, while Lilo took charge of teaching Stitch how to be a good boy. But things didn't go as planned. Stitch, who naturally loves causing destruction, just couldn't keep himself under control. When Stitch dressed up like Elvis, hoping to win people over with music, the crowd's flashing cameras came rushing in, and it sent Stitch spiraling out of control again. Stitch went wild, wrecking everything on the beach. When the crowd finally scattered, only Stitch and Lilo were left by the shore, and because of it, Nanny lost her job yet again. For the first time, Stitch felt real guilt. To shake off the bad mood, everyone decided to head out to the ocean for some fun. Amid all the laughter and good times, it seemed like they'd forgotten the rough patch. Stitch, who was terrified of water, couldn't join in with the others. He tried copying them by piling up sand, but he just couldn't cheer up no matter what. To comfort Stitch, Lilo and Nanny took him out on a surfboard. With their help, Stitch surprisingly overcame his fear, but Jumba's sudden appearance shattered that short-lived peace. In the struggle, Stitch grabbed hold of Lilo, and they both tumbled into the depths of the sea. To protect her little sister, Nanny dove in right after them. But accidentally kicked Stitch away in the process. In the freezing cold water, Stitch was on the verge of losing his life. Luckily, Nanny's friend showed up just in time and rescued Stitch. The group barely made it out alive, but everything that had just happened was witnessed by people from Child Protective Services. They decided Lilo wasn't getting the proper care she needed, and at noon tomorrow, she'd be taken away.
You know, I really believed they had a chance. Then you came along.
Stitch had to leave. Because of his own destruction, Lilo was going to be taken in by the welfare agency. Watching Lilo and Nanny's tearful goodbye, the guilty Stitch slipped away on his own. Deep in the forest that night, Stitch kept flipping through The Ugly Duckling over and over, longing to have a family of his own. When morning came, his creator Jumba finally found him, but Stitch didn't want to go. He wanted to tell everyone he had a family now, yet a creature born to represent pure destruction. How could he possibly have a family?
You don't have one. I made you.
Maybe I could.
You're built to destroy. You can never belong.
So Stitch ran away. He found Lilo, and tried to tell everyone she was his family, but no one would believe him. To capture Stitch, Jumba launched his attack.
Oh, leave my mother out of this.
Seeing the situation spiraling out of control, Pleakley grabbed Lilo, and they escaped safely just 1 second before the little house exploded. Looking at the wrecked home, the arriving welfare agency leader made up her mind to take Lilo away, but no one bothered to ask Lilo if she wanted to leave. While the adults kept arguing, Lilo quietly stepped out of the car by herself and walked deep into the jungle. The worried Stitch, wanting to comfort her, followed right behind. He picked up the torn family photo and gave it back to Lilo, but Lilo blamed the whole mess on Stitch.
Get out of here, Stitch.
At the same time, the Galactic Federation agents arrived again. Lilo and Stitch were both hauled onto the ship. When Nanny finally caught up, she could only watch helplessly as the ship lifted off. In the critical moment, Stitch bit through the protective shield, but couldn't pull Lilo out with him. Right then, Nanny unleashed all her anger on Stitch.
Okay, talk. I know you had something to do with this. Now where is Lilo? talk! I know you can.
Okay.
Luckily, Dr. Jumba arrived just in time. Looking at the little guy he had created, he finally softened his heart and took Stitch to chase after the ship. In the end, Stitch risked everything and rescued Lilo.
You came back.
Nobody gets left behind.
When they barely made it out, Stitch was still captured. But surprisingly, as he was being taken away, Stitch stayed completely calm, no longer rude or wild like before.
Can Stitch say goodbye?
Yes.
Thank you.
Seeing such a polite little guy, the Grand Councilwoman felt a spark of something in her heart.
Lilo, didn't you buy that thing at the shelter?
Hey!
And finally, Lilo pulled out the adoption papers from the shelter and told everyone that Stitch was her dog.
This creature has been sentenced to life in exile. A sentence that shall be henceforth served out here on Earth.